Hello, welcome to new unboxing and quick testing. Today will be a new SYMA product. This is a second variant of the X5. After the X5 first edition, the X5 okay. Today will be the X5SC. Okay, so this is S for special edition. So in fact, it's the second revision of this quadcopter. It's a micro-size quadcopter, and C because it's including a camera versions. So you can find it in black edition or white edition. Today I will review the white edition. So what you will find in the box, you will find the quadcopter itself. Well, if you already own or plan to have first edition of the SYMA, they make some design change. For example, they change completely the landing gears. Now you have some feet completely individually, okay, individual feet. In fact, it's a kind of shrink size of the X8C I reviewed some time ago. So if I can compare with the SYMA X8C, the bigger model, big brush 350 size model. So in fact, you can recognize more or less the same kind of design, but in a shrinked version. So they copy the same landing gears and more or less the same motor ports at the extremity, as well as the transparent LEDs plastics. Okay, so I will also continue and enter into details more later into this SYMA. What also you will find the transmitter. This is a classic SYMA chassis of remote control. So you have two shoulder buttons. Okay, the left one is to select the touch speed. Only two modes are available: beginner or expert mode. And if you stay pressed on this button more than 2 seconds, you will turn on off the headless mode. Okay. The right shoulder button is to perform flips, okay, and when you activate it, you have to indicate in which direction you want to flips. Finally, you will find some trip button, for the yaw, and here for the forward and left and right. The vertical throttle trim is used to, if you push it up to take pictures, and if you push it down to start or to stop the video recording. Okay, all the panel buttons are fake. Okay, and you will need 4 AA batteries to feed the remote control. What also you will find a battery. Actually, it's 500 milliamps per hours batteries. No discharge rating indicated, and ending with the micro low-Z connectors. You will find also micro SD card reader, okay, because it comes with a 4 GB micro SD card, okay, in the camera module. And you will find an USB charging cable, ending of course with a micro low-Z connector. 4 props guards, okay. They scale individually 1 gram. If I'm not wrong. Okay, so only one screw to fix them on the top part of the canopy. Only 2 spare props, one clockwise and one counterclockwise. And finally, you will find the instruction manual for both the S version or SC version. Okay, so if I return now into the details for the SYMA X5SC. First, after the notification of the change landing gears, the material of the top shell of the shell is different. Is using a more Bryant plastics. It's a very light quadcopter. For example, if I can scale it without battery, without camera module. Okay, I will use this box as star. You will see that with the camera module installed, it's 92 grams, so it's pretty light. And if I had the batteries, it's turning to 109 grams, so it's pretty light compared, for example, for the GGRC X5SC. Okay. In fact, in order to give you a comparison size, here is the double toys V686. Okay, so both are similar size, also have more or less similar weight, but this one, even with the camera installed, is even a little bit lighter. So it's a good news for the durability, for example, of the motors. Well, I can talk about the motors. When I disassemble it, I noticed that the motors are not in usual size. Usually you have 7 millimeters by 20 millimeters size, or 8.5 by 20 millimeters. The motor here used for this SYMA are 8 millimeters by 17 millimeters, so it's an unusual size. Okay. Motor are directly soldered on the flying controlling board. Concerning the protocol used is the same protocol that the X8C, okay, or the X11 or X12, okay, or the second edition X5.1, okay. So it's a good news if you have now the new remote control associated with the last model of SYMA. This one, it can be fallible, okay. That's the good news. Concerning the batteries, okay, this model, if the good news also, you have now a very a battery bay. You can be open with these doors, and you have a larger enough to, for example, to use another more powerful batteries. You have enough spaces, for example, in length. So it's approximately 28 millimeters large, okay, and actually the length of this cheap battery is 45, okay, but I think you can install up to 2 centimeters longer battery. For example, if you have this Nanotech 2 batteries, don't forget to invert the polarity with such kind of battery, but it fits very well, no problem at all to fit then. And you have, and in fact, I think you can even install a larger model, maybe a 900 milliamps per hour. So it's a good news. Concerning the flying duration with this battery, it's approximately of 5 minutes. Okay, so it's not so long, but 5 minutes with the camera turned on. So it's not very long, but it could be better. I guess with such battery, you can gain maybe 2 minutes more. Okay, so without sacrificing a lot of flying characteristics. Okay, so since it's pretty light, don't expect to have a very strong wind resistance, so you have to fly it in up to a small breeze, okay, because it will be completely wind dependent. Okay, so this SYMA is of course equipped of a camera module. This one, what I like is it's very easy to remove it. You just have to push this pad and clips it. It's very easy. Unfortunately, as you can see, the angle is pointing into the ground, so it means when you are flying forwards, you will even target more the ground than usual. So there are basic tricks to improve the situation. For example, you can unscrew here the 2 screws there, okay, and use longer screws, and to install a spacer, for example, some plastic tube of 15 millimeters, for example, and it will of course put horizontally the angle of the camera, so it will be better to, for example, to target the horizon line. Okay, so you have this mini 1.25 millimeter 3-pin GST connectors. So you just have to plug it. You can find on the bottom a nice ideas, a switch. I like when quadcopter have a switch, because you can take your time, for example, to install the batteries. Okay, for example, so I will remove the micro SD connector. Okay, was blocked there. So you can take your time to install your batteries. So So you can push the cable into battery bay, and now if you want, you can turn on or off the quadcopter. So concerning the LEDs, you have orange on front and green on back, on rear parts, okay? So when you turn on the quadcopter, after a few seconds, the camera is initialing and the LEDs of the camera is turned to green, okay? So if I will make a small internal indoors flight, so you have to push, turn on the batteries and to harm the quadcopter by pushing up and down the throttle stick, and as you can see, the LEDs become solid and the LEDs of the camera stay into green. So as I said previously, if you push, for example, the throttle trim down, you will see that the camera will turn into red and will flash. It means that you are currently filming. You can hear 2 beeps, and as you can see, is flashing red. Okay, so if I press again, I will stop to record. Okay, so I return to green. So about the calibration, of course, it's better to perform some on the flat surface some calibration. So if I'm not wrong, you have to push both stick lower left in lower left position, and the LEDs are flashing fast, meaning that the calibration gyroscope is performed. So now I will take off. So I will start in a beginner mode. So I will stay like this, and so it's a very stable camera. So I will turn the camera now. The yaw rate is in beginner mode relatively correct, not fantastic fast, but it's a very stable. So the pitch angle in the beginner mode and forward and backward are correct. Now I'm faster mode. Of course, the pitch and pitch rate have improved. The yaw rate is still the same speed, okay? So normal, not fantastic. Okay, I will land, stop the camera. And well, I told you also maybe that you can fly this quadcopter with the X5SC camera transmitter, for example. But the good news also, recently the SYMA protocol have been hacked for deviation takes. So for example, if I can bind it, okay, with this transmitter, I have to re-in it. Okay, maybe to turn off again the quadcopter. Yes, probably. As you can see, it's on. The good news also, I can turn on off the camera with the same trim. Okay, it's turning flashing red too. Okay, so I can film. And I observe also with this transmitter that the yaw rate and the pitch and tilt rates are faster, are improved with the Devo controller. You will see that. You can see that the yaw rate seems faster. And the pitch angle seems also better. Okay, so I saw a small improvement in the pitch and yaw rates, and thanks to the deviation TX hacking. So this is a really good news. Well, one word about the range. Since it's using the new SYMA protocol with a data rate of 250 kilobytes per second, the range is improved versus the older protocol, SYMA protocol, and generally whole protocol based on 1 megabytes data rate speed. So for example, you can aim more than 150, 200 meters with the stock transmitter. With such model, you can expect a little bit more, okay? But of course, with such transmitter, you can have much smoother flight, smoother control. So definitively, you have a good range control with the new SYMA protocol variants. So this is a good point. Containing the quality of the camera, I found it's the same quality of the former X5SC. So it's a relatively good HD camera. Of course, the field of view of such lens is very narrow, so don't expect to have a wide angle. But I measure the lens mount. It's 1.50 millimeters. So, for example, you can probably mount 808 DS16 lens D module lens at least, and to enlarge the view. Or there are also some other M7 compatible lens to enlarge your field of view. So the video are sharp, so it's a good news. Okay, but only main default I think is the native field of view is very narrow, but it can be improved. So I will conclude this small unboxing and quick testing, and you will see some outdoors video also. So this is a very stable quadcopter. It's ultralight. The camera module is very good. Well, very good, and the quality of the image. Suffering a little bit of narrow field of view, but it can be mowed very easily. The transmission range is quite good, close to 200 meters. If you are optimizing a little bit the antenna, for example, pointing internally the antenna vertically, as well as your remote control. It's not very wind resistant, so okay, so be aware of that. Not flying, try to hope to have very stabilized image with the wind. Well, the direct competitors could be this model. Well, this is a FPV version, but you have also now the G version will be an HD camera, so it's a competitor with more or less the same kind of price. And well, I think it's a much better variants. The new version, the new edition, in fact this is the third one, is offering improved detail, landing gears, a switch, a better battery base. The plastic seems more or less durable. It's flexible enough to absorb shocks, but and since it's very light, I think it's durable. Okay. Concerning the maintenance, it's very easy to access to the canopy. You have to unscrew 1, 2, 3. Below this fit you have another screw, so 1, 2, 3, 4 screws per arms to access to the canopy. The main chips are classics. It's an STM32 ARM core for the MCU. The radio frequency chips is a variant of a Beacon one, but it's compatible in RF24 L01. Okay, and well, it's a very good entry model for video platform. Okay, if you want to cheap solutions, it's a good candidate. Okay, to perform very first stage. It's if you want it as the first quadcopter for video platform, it's a good candidate. What I will advise is to probably take a wider lens. First, it will offer a wider field of view, and second, the image will be more stabilized due to this larger field of view. The flying duration is 5 minutes. It's not so fantastic. but thanks to probably this 10 energy battery, you can probably increase by 2 minutes the flying durations. So another good point, it's deviation TX compatible, so you can fly with a real professional transmitter. Okay, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please sub it and also subscribe my channel. Bye bye.